So there's a lot of unfortunate videos that I've seen out there, like on TikTok and things like that, where people say that they're trying to fight inflation and the grocery prices have gotten so out of control, they can barely afford to eat. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. So it's no secret that grocery prices today are a lot different than they were just 2 years ago. We are all trying to fight inflation the best way we know how. That's why interest rates keep going up every so often. They're trying to fight inflation, but in the meantime we can only control what we can control. One thing that we have changed about our own spending habits when it comes to inflation is how we are getting our groceries every week. So whenever we paid off our consumer debt back in 2019, from that point on until just a few months ago, so about 4 years, we utilized Instacart. Most people know what that is just because it got really popular during the pandemic. It was our own little treat to ourselves with paying off our debt, just utilizing one of those convenience delivery type of services out there. We loved it. It was awesome. It was great for me because personally, grocery stores can make me a little bit anxious. The biggest grocery store in our area is Kroger. It's probably like that in most states in the US. While they do have a loyalty program where you can get discounts and points off and everything like that, it still can be somewhat pretty expensive. But as far as dealing with big grocery stores like Kroger, it just got stressful for me, overwhelming. I don't know where everything's at. There's so much stuff to choose from. Just the list goes on. It was just really stressful for me. So nowadays I really only go to Kroger if I only have a few things to get. But prior to paying off all of our debt, we religiously went to Aldi every single week. And I love Aldi, but there are a few things you should know about Aldi if you want to try them out, which I definitely recommend. One thing about Aldi is that you are going to need one of these, which is a quarter. How they do their cart system is you put a quarter into the slot of the cart, and then it has this belt system which just allows you to then detach the cart. And honestly, it's really smart because it makes it so they don't have to employ people to go out to their parking lot and get all the carts and round them all up. And instead, you obviously want your quarter back. In order to get your quarter back after you're done grocery shopping, you take your cart back to the line of carts, you plug the chain in, and then it gives you your quarter back. So that's just one way that Aldi is able to be so cheap, is because they don't employ as many people because of things like that. Another thing that they do is they don't have baggers to bag your groceries, which, hear me out, I know it sounds crazy. They bring up all of your stuff and then they just put the items in your cart. Then you take the grocery bags, typically they're bigger so it doesn't take you all day, but you take those grocery bags and you bag up your stuff yourself. Also, the grocery bags aren't free. You do have to pay, I believe it's 10 cents for paper bags, or they have ones like these that are about 80 cents and they're super durable, or they have the bags like these that are more like $2, but obviously it lasts even longer. And I've had these same grocery bags for months, and you're saving the environment at the same time. I definitely say check it out. I know there's not an Aldi everywhere. If you have something similar, I know there's Save-A-Lots out there. Comment down below if you have something that's similar to an Aldi. But honestly, I feel like Aldi's the best. But I know there's a lot of unfortunate videos that I've seen out there, like on TikTok and things like that, where people say that they're trying to fight inflation and the grocery prices have gotten so out of control, they can barely afford to eat, things like that. But what we can control is just changing our situation. If you're someone who grocery shops at some place super expensive, maybe try Aldi out, or even Walmart might be a little bit less expensive than some of the other higher expensive grocery stores. The reason that we are not shopping with Instacart as much as we were before, which was every week, now we are kind of limiting it to once a month until our annual membership expires in October, and I do not plan to renew. The reason being is just because I knew this myself, but shopping at any grocery store on Instacart, it's typically going to be more expensive than going in person. Aldi or Kroger or whatever grocery store you have, typically they're going to up that price because they have to pay Instacart to even have the service available to you. So they try to recoup those funds by upping their prices, and you're going to see that today, showing that it's more expensive on Instacart than it is to just go in person. With us trying to pay off our mortgage, it was getting hard for me to justify the cost of that with the price of everything already going up. So I wanted to save money wherever we could. On top of that, you tip your shopper, of course. There's service fees that are associated with Instacart as well. And then you always run the risk of your shopper messing something up, which I think when I finally decided that I was going to go back to shopping in person, the person was just like messing stuff up. And then it's like Instacart doesn't necessarily make it the easiest. Just get your credit back. Like, it's an app itself. You could just select and say, hey, this is what I'm missing. I need my credit, or this is what's wrong. But you have to chat with someone. Sometimes you have to wait for a person, all of that. Aldi is easier for me because it's such a smaller grocery store. It's very hard for me to get overwhelmed with the options that they have because it's just such a smaller grocery store. And if you haven't been in one, you'll see that today. Now, with me and my household, if you guys are new, we are a family of 4. I know there's people out there who they're only shopping for themselves, or yourselves and a significant other. There are some people who are a family of 6. So with things like that, I feel like we're right in the middle. We're a good thing to compare it to as far as how much we spend, comparing it to yourselves. Our budget for groceries every month is $5.50 a month. With shopping at Aldi, we lowered our budget. It used to be more because we're saving money by coming here. And then that includes full grocery shopping at Aldi, and then still going to Kroger for smaller things, maybe spending like $30 or so at Kroger if they don't have at Aldi, things like that, which is very slim. They have so much stuff to choose from here. Another thing that Aldi does have is they have the ability to order online and then pick up your groceries in person. I did look into that by messing around with it online, but it turns out they still use Instacart basically for their pickup services. So you're still paying the Instacart higher prices and things like that. It's still going to be cheaper to come in person. But if you are someone that is okay with that, paying for that convenience, and then you can see right there, someone's bringing out their groceries. So I'm gonna head in. I'm gonna film a little bit in the store, just showing a little bit. We have a 6 and a 2-year-old. One's in school, one isn't. So we are pretty consistent with what we buy for the 6-year-old for packing their lunch every day. And then for the 2-year-old, he just kind of eats whatever we give him. We do use the Instacart app though as a list. That way we are staying on track with everything we need, not forgetting things. So let's get started. You guys will have to let us know, how do our grocery prices compare to you all that live in different states? We're in Ohio. So while these prices are considered affordable in our area, I know in some other places this could be considered either expensive or super, super, super cheap. So comment down below, let us know what state you're in and how much these type of items would cost in your area. I definitely wanted to highlight Aldi's meat selection because I feel like people really sleep on Aldi in our area, but it is a great place to go to grocery shop. These chicken thighs, we get them all the time. They're only $2.99 a pound, and I just feel like you can't beat that price. These are so good. We air fry them every week, or Dennis cooks them and we meal prep with them. We'll put them with a vegetable and some rice, and we are just set for the entire week. And I feel like that price you just can't beat. So if you are someone who doesn't have an Aldi in your area, or if you've never been, are you guys willing to try it at this point? They also have this Italian sausage, and they also have really good breakfast sausage. This is the maple kind, where sometimes Kroger is out of it, but they actually do have it. And this tomato soup I'm actually getting for my son because while he is typically eating like a cold cut type of sandwich, he is learning to try new things. He's very picky. So I did have him try grilled cheese and tomato soup last weekend, and he did try that and he liked it. This mac and cheese, we also have it for the kids for dinner, and they love it. So that is only 55 cents, about $2. That'll be dinner for a few different days this coming week. Now, who remembers when eggs were like $4 a carton just like a year ago? These are $1.18 for a full carton. I just can't believe how much inflation goes up and down with certain items, but I know as a whole that things are just a lot more expensive. Now, fun fact about me, I actually don't drink, but my husband did put some wine on the list, so I have to read like every single label because I'm just not used to alcohol at all to make sure I'm getting the right thing. He wanted a certain kind, and I was having trouble finding it. I was looking everywhere, like, okay, I hope that they have it and they're not out of it. But eventually, I did end up finding a multi pack, and I'm like, I don't think he wants this much. but I did end up finding it. But getting alcohol means that I'm not going to have such a smooth process at checkout because they're going to need to check my ID. Here is the perfect example of something being way more expensive on Instacart than it is in person. I kept looking for something for $8 when looking for this, and this price here says $6.99. So over $1 more just to buy something on Instacart. It may not seem like a lot, but that really adds up. So this is the total out the door. I'm just waiting for someone to come ID me. There was a cashier checking out other people, but it was a little awkward because I think she needed to ID me, and I don't think she really loves me because last time I tried to tell her I had an issue with my food, she put the blame back on me, and I had to get a manager to fix my issue. She ended up making me walk from self-checkout to regular checkout to show her my ID. Like I said, I don't usually buy alcohol. Last week, they walked over to me, so let me know in the comments if that's normal practice. Of course, she does not represent Aldi as a whole. It's just one experience that I've been having with one individual. Still love Aldi. $93.39 out the door is not bad. We typically do spend a little bit more, but we did have a good amount of groceries left over from last week. With packing lunch and back to school time and everything like that. I do think this is the least fun part, but I gotta get my quarterback. Get the quarterback. Put this thing in here. Alright guys, that is a wrap. Let me know what you thought about today's video in the comments. I am going to get these groceries back home and we will see you in our next video. Bye!